YouTube channel. This is Jacob Cast 2024. This will be a short live stream. I think I'll make it like an hour, probably like an hour long. I'm not gonna make it too long. We will talk about what happened on this, the news and rumors of WWE and AEW. I kind of debated if I wanted to do a live stream or to do maybe a review while playing my PS5. But maybe I'll do the one last one. And then maybe I'll do a review on my PS5 for One Night Raw. So anyway, enjoy this live stream. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more. My video is sponsored by my favorite podcasters, Solomon the Sound Dog, JD from New York, Joe Cronin. We got good member commentaries. Denise Lato. We got Fight for Pro Wrestling. Now that the show ended with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. That was the main event, by the way. They did announce the masses. I think it might be too late. Hold on. Alright. I didn't get that many views here. Alright, so I probably should have started this earlier, but I started pretty late.
Qualifying match here.
We got Solomon JD, Fightful. Now tonight was the build to Money in the Bank and the build to Saturday night main event. So we had now with Sobu. So we had Rock One and Cody Rhodes to turn heel. No CM Punk Money in the Bank. We could get maybe Travis Scott in his tag team match. I already talked about NXT with Joe Handy and Trick Williams. Moxley retain. Alright, so John Cena remains WWE champion. There was no John Cena, no Cody Rhodes tonight. Cody will not show up. Randy Orton was not on the show. Nick Aldis defeats Randy Orton, Charlotte, and Jade. Maybe for the Women's Evolution that they're coming back with. The WWE evolved. Cena Money in the Bank plan revealed. Aldis and Randy Orton, that's the woman actually being planned. Because Randy Orton RKO Nick Aldis at Backlash. We could be looking at a tag team match, and I don't know why.
Look, Mom. Wow. Wish I bought Dixie.
Friday.
Then we got BC Amplified. We got the SummerSlam here. CM Punk being removed from Night Champions in Saudi Arabia. Might will show you some of the podcasters here. We got Luigi in attendance. Alright, we got the alright, there's Diamond, there's Issa. Alright, we got No DQ. He did his review. We got the other podcaster. We got Network. We got Daz. We got A and B. Gonna show you got the other podcasters here.
And
There's Drew McIntyre. Now they already advertised the massive for Saturday Night Main Event next Saturday.
ladies.
Alright.
We obviously I can't guarantee.
Cody didn't even return tonight. We don't know when he's gonna come back. I don't think it's gonna be next week. Maybe for the Road to Money Bank. They might. The Backlash Review, New Japan. There's Joe Cronin. Now they only announced, I think they announced like 4 matches. John Cena versus R-Truth for the WWE Championship. Jey Uso and Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest in a steel cage. And we got Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. The 4 matches announced for Saturday Night Main Event. Um, and for the matches for next week on Smackdown, Money Bank qualifying matches, LA Knight out to Black versus Nakamura. We got Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and Julia in a qualifying match next week, and the Street Profit versus Nathan Fraser and Essam. Those are matches for next week. Now this was alright. So these are the only 3 podcasters on here. Actually, wait. I actually want to talk about SmackDown first. That was Monday Night Raw. We know that Jey Uso gonna face Braun Breaker next week. Now this is what we got Monday Night Raw. The show opened up with the new Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Soul Core, and Jeff Cobb. Now they're calling him JC Meadow. LA Knight attacked Jeff Cobb as Jacob Fatu confronts Soul Core. Man, this clearly teasing Jacob Fatu to leave Solo. Maybe Solo might turn on him. Fatu mega over, fans love Fatu, they changed his name. There was even signs that said, I love Fatu. I think the one sign that said, I love Solo. I think the clearly setting up Jacob Fatu to turn on Solo. Or maybe Solo could turn on him. Jacob Fatu might go babyface and Solo might turn on him. We could see that for the US title. Or we could see him in JC. And after that, LA Knight came out and attacked them. So I get Knight gonna do a feud with the Bloodline. Alexa Bliss qualified for the Money in the Bank. I think she beat Chelsea Green and Mia Yim. Alexa Bliss is mega over. We had an interview here with R-Truth will battle John Cena in a Saturday main event next Saturday. So I think we'll see John Cena next week on the Go Home show. We got the Motor City Machine Gun Stop DIY post match to sell. How did they match? I'm pretty sure DIY won. And then they came out and beat up. And the Motor City Machine Gun, they came out, they celebrated with, I think it was Nathan Fraser and Essam. And then we got Drew McIntyre. He came out, cut this decent promo. He'll battle Damian Priest in a steel cage match to end the feud and hopefully move on. We'll see where McIntyre goes. Carmelo Hayes takes out Aleister Black after a DQ loss. So Aleister Black won by DQ. So we got the rematch again. They ran it back. Aleister Black won the match by DQ. And him and The Miz laid out Black. Hayes and The Miz laid out Aleister Black. So protect Aleister Black. Hopefully he makes the Money Bank. How come Carmelo Hayes not Money Bank or something? How come he didn't qualify? So Sikoa, he qualified. He beat Ray Phoenix and Jimmy Uso. So Solo, he's in Money Bank. JC Metal defeat LA Knight in his debut match. It was decent. It was alright. That's NXT. Tiffany Stratton is still your women's champion. She beat Nia Jax. And after that, I think Naomi got involved. And then there was a brawl. Julia is the newest member of SmackDown. So after they lost on Raw and she left Roxanne Perez, Julia is now on SmackDown. I don't know why. Don't know why she's on SmackDown. Yeah, Tiffany beat Nia Jax to retain her title. Hope we're done with this feud and we can move on. I don't know where Tiffany goes. Who's it gonna feud with? Hopefully Naomi. Charlotte. Oh, you know Charlotte gonna be in Money Bank. Yeah, Charlotte. She'll be in Money Bank. Maybe we'll get Tiffany and Naomi. I'm afraid that Charlotte gonna win Money Bank. I am afraid that she might win Money Bank. Because who else do you think gonna win it?
I'm Christy Nome, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you, President Donald.
I
Because they're really good at the ring. Same with Jordan Grace. Like Jordan Grace just shows up and she chucks
Yep.
people around.
That's it.
And hits people really hard. Yeah, she does. And she has like I've said at length, like she uses her strength in ways that I've never seen people use their strength before. But it's not because of any of the dorky crap that they were giving people in NXT that these women got over. They connected with the crowd because they're really good at wrestling, and all of their in-ring is completely different from each other, which makes for really. So I hope somebody back there is paying attention to that.
Well, I didn't know that they
Because
were
you're right.
pink.
Because even
Why didn't know they were pink? No.
By 3.
Alright, so let's see what Salamoto had to say.
Good to have matches that have meaning and are actually leading to something significant. We also had some new matches added to Saturday night's main events. Not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend, Memorial Day weekend. John Cena will be wrestling on that show. We knew that he was going to be on the show. We didn't know for sure that he would be wrestling. But he will be on that show, and he will be wrestling R-Truth in what appears to be a non-title. It should be a non-title match. That match is now confirmed. R-Truth sat down with Wade Barrett. We'll talk about the interview that he gave. And also on that show, a steel cage match will take place. We're not done yet with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, but we will be at Saturday night's main event when they collide in a steel cage. So that is now official. The tag team division. Boy, it's kind of like the tale of two shows, isn't it? You hear me talk about the tag team division in the review on Monday night, talking about the New Day, War Raiders, and it's like, eh. Then you look at the tag team division here on SmackDown, and this division, even coming out of the TLC match a few weeks ago, is still rocking and rolling. And tonight we had a hell of a tag team match involving Fraxium and DIY. Fraxium now in line for a tag team championship match on the show next week. And it's just good to have a tag team division where it just feels like there's actual life to it. And you look at what's going on the other show, and it really is just what happened. How do we have this on Fridays and have what we have on Mondays? It's just quite the difference between the two shows right now. We had Jeff Cobb, who made his WWE debut at Backlash on Saturday. Tonight, though, he made his in-ring debut here on SmackDown, and he did so in a very boring match, I'm sorry to say, with LA Knight that dragged on for far too long, and the crowd could not be bothered to give a single solitary shit about this match. He won. At least he won. It could have been worse. He could have lost. So that's the good thing about it, but unfortunately, yeah, that match was no good. But we had, again, a hell of a closing match. We had the qualifying matches. We had a hot tag team match. It was more good than bad on this show. There's more stuff that I enjoyed than I did not enjoy. So it was a good show overall, but I am still counting down the weeks. Now, as I look at the date, it is May 16th. Now, the last we heard, now granted, I think it was in the Observer, Meltzer mentioned this, but the last we heard was that as of June 6th, SmackDown was moving back to 2 hours. We've heard nothing about this since. I haven't heard anything in the last few weeks about that date, if it changed, if it's true, if it's not true. I'm going to assume it's true. And if that's the case, that means that we have 2 more episodes of SmackDown before it reverts back to 2 hours. So the countdown is getting very close. Getting much closer with each passing week. And I don't care how good the show was this week. I can't wait June 6th. That's the final SmackDown before Money in the Bank. With any hope, we will be back to 2 hours on Friday nights. This is your WWE SmackDown review. It is May 16th, 2025. I am the Solomon Sith. Thank you for being with me here on a Friday night. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you, including John Cena's win in the main event over Randy Orton, retaining the WWE title. But it was Solo Sikoa out to the ring here first with his newest recruit, Jeff Cobb, along with the still United States champion, Jacob Fatu. Maddie wants to know where my ops towel is. Yeah, well, on Wednesday night, it was the beach break edition of Dynamite. And I did more to frankly celebrate the beach break theme than AEW did. AEW didn't do shit. They just called it beach break. I mean, they could have called it Havoc and just had a fucking show in the middle of May. It would have been the same thing. But yeah, I had my towel, my tank, and was showing off the guns. Well, we're off the beach. No more beach. Now we're back inside. Now I mentioned Jeff Cobb, right? Jeff Cobb came out here with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. But he is no longer Jeff Cobb. He has a new name here in WWE. Now, I mentioned the other day that they trademarked a new name, I think the same day as Backlash. I think the same day that he debuted at Backlash. They filed a trademark application for a new name that a lot of people suspected could be for Cobb. And they filed a trademark application for the name JC Mateo.
And then they told her good night. They all held up. They told me good night. They said so they went to sleep. They turned off.
He never mentioned Mateo.
They all went in their cell.
Later on in the show, they mentioned JC. So that is in fact his name now going forward in the show.
Because she
Solo
truly
introduced him
believed
to
that
the
they were
man who
doing
helped keep the
so
United States championship with the family. That got him a little side-eye look from Jacob Fatu. Solo talked about winning Money in the Bank, bringing the WWE Championship back to the family.
They all got out. They all, as soon as he left, they closed the
So
door.
Fatu got cheered by the fans as he recalled saying that he would bring the U.S. title to the family. That he would do it with or without Solo Sikoa. Fatu said he was all gas, no brakes. And fans said it along with him. Solo helped him on and told him that he and JC, they know what he needs. Solo said he's doing everything to help Fatu because he loves it. And he said the U.S. title being over Fatu's shoulder is proof of that. Sikoa said that there was something he needed to hear that from Jacob. And he asked him, he goes, what's that thing you used to say? What's that thing that you used to repeat and say all the time? And Fatu said, I love you so. Although he didn't say it with the same level of enthusiasm that he used to say it with. I guess Jacob no longer loves Solo. Solo said, no, that's not it. He goes, come on, say it loud and proud. And he spun Jacob in such a way so that they were face to face. And that was a no-no. And Jacob removed his shades, and he looked like he was ready to pound this guy into the ground, when all of a sudden we hear LA Knight's music interrupts. So they all look towards the aisle. They're waiting for LA Knight to come out. Instead, he appeared at ringside. He pulled JC out of the ring and slammed him headfirst onto the announce desk. And then he fled into the crowd. He ran away. Now, I want to ask you a question. If you're a babyface, right, and you're feuding with this faction, and you see that there's a breakdown in the family, shit's about to go down. It looked like Fatu was about to lay the beat down on this man, potentially, right? Why would you choose this moment to interrupt? When they're about to explode, the family is about to fall apart. This is the moment that LA Knight chooses to come out to interrupt the festivities. So what we had here was dumb babyface syndrome in full effect. Unfortunately, dumb babyface syndrome claimed yet another victim in LA Knight. And by the way, we also have LA Knight here. I'm watching this and I'm saying, are we really continuing with LA Knight and the bloodline? Are we really still continuing with this stuff? I mean, I know Jacob has the U.S. title, but it felt to me, honestly, like coming out of Backlash, like, okay, we're going to move on now with LA Knight, because what are we going to be doing here? Are we just going to keep running it back until he wins, or is he just going to keep losing? So this is the feud that will never end. Ridiculously played out. The name change. I know some people are going to be upset about this. Stupid, and why did they change his name? He may not have wanted to license the name to them. I don't know how it works when it comes to people's real names, because that is his real name. So I have to assume it was a licensing issue. You know, why do some guys keep their name and other people don't keep their name? I don't know. Every situation is different. Because some people do keep their name when they come here to WWE, like Julian. Right? You can find other examples of it. I don't know what it was in this case. At least he still has the JC. And they went with Mateo, which is kind of close to Matanza, which is what he was called in Lucha Underground. Matanza, Mateo, it's close enough.
JC.
It could always
Jeff
be
Cobb.
worse.
That's my real name, Jeff Cobb.
We'll get back to these guys.
Usually I
later
don't
on
use
in
my
the
real
show.
name. I use my character's name.
But in our first Money in
Nah,
the Bank
crazy.
qualifying match here,
Matanza.
of not only
You even
tonight,
call
but
it something.
Money in,
No, we called it
on the women's
GC
side, it was
Mateo.
Alexa
I like that.
Bliss,
Yep, you beat
it was
me.
Michin,
Very boring.
and it was Chelsea Green. Only one of these women would advance to the ladder match. Alexa Bliss already won Money in the Bank back in 2018, so she was trying to win her second Money in the Bank match. Now, I missed last week's SmackDown review. I was not here. I was in Chicago. I did catch up with the show after the fact, but I was not here to talk about the return of Alexa Bliss last week because Alexa Bliss has not been seen since Elimination Chamber. She missed WrestleMania, and even in the couple of weeks coming out of WrestleMania, we didn't see her. So, of course, last week she returned on the show. And how did Alexa Bliss return on the show randomly as a mystery partner for Zelina Vega in a tag team match against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, which is kind of an odd way to re-debut Alexa Bliss, but that's how she came back last week. And then also there was a little interaction with Charlotte Flair in the back. So yes, Alexa Bliss is back. For the Money in the Bank briefcases, they were hanging above the ring all night. Bliss and Michin, they dropped Chelsea with a drop kick through the ropes to the outside, and I should say one of them. I think it was Alexa. Connected on the drop kick. The other one, I think it was Michin, did not connect on the drop kick, but Chelsea sold it anyway. Chelsea made a comeback. She hit her feet on the ropes when she went for a suicide dive. Thankfully, she didn't kill herself. She still made contact with both opponents. Later in the match, we had Michin doing her long back attack dance. The long back attack. See, if I had a move in wrestling, I think I might call it that. But she did the cannonball in the corner on both women. Michin hit Eat Defeat on Chelsea and had her pinned until Bliss broke it up. Alexa put Michin down with a DDT and then went up top, hit Twisted Bliss, which is one of her finishes. Green broke up the pin and then threw Alexa out of the ring before hitting an unprettier to Michin. But then Alexa pulled Michin out of the ring. She gets back inside and she grabs Chelsea and drops her with her sister Abigail DDT. For the win to become the first to qualify
they
for
got
Money
27.
in
They
the
only
Bank.
got three. 30 people.
Joe
way too much.
Tessitore, when this was over, called this an outstanding match, which was a lie, but it was solid. We had a video package recapping Fraxium, something else that happened on the show last week. Fraxium beat the Street Profits in a non-title match, followed by DIY attacking Fraxium and the Motor City Machine Guns in the backstage area. I'm not sure why beating the champions doesn't immediately earn you a title match, but they had to go through tonight before they ultimately got their title match. But this led into a match here between Fraxium and DIY. So Axiom went for a springboard move. He slipped, though, when Gargano touched the middle row. Tommaso Ciampa drilled Axiom with a knee strike that cleared him from the ring. Gargano ran Axiom into the barricade. Nathan Frazier hit a standing shooting star press on Johnny for a near fall. Then he went up top, and he rolled through on a Phoenix Splash attempt. I feel like, most people who go for that Phoenix Splash, Seth Rollins is another one, they never hit it. It's always a roll through. I can't remember the last time I actually saw a Phoenix Splash connect in a match. So he rolled through a Phoenix Splash attempt. Gargano moved out of the way. Gargano caught Frazier with a thrust kick as he was going for a springboard move. So I think the spot in NXT with Adam Cole and Ricochet, not quite as good as that, but similar type of spot here. Gargano, though, he did get caught when he came in. He got caught with a kick to the back of the neck. I don't know that he was supposed to, so he didn't really sell it too much. Ciampa tagged in, held up Frazier while Gargano kicked him before hitting the fairy tale ending. Ciampa had Frazier pinned, but Axiom broke it up. So Ciampa hits Project Ciampa on Nathan, for a near fall. Ciampa then goes for a running knee strike. Frazier avoids it. Gargano tags in. Frazier took out Ciampa with a kick. He superplexed Gargano, and then he held up Gargano. Axiom then kicked him before Frazier followed through with a brainbuster. And Axiom had the match won. He covered Gargano, but here comes Ciampa, who breaks it up. So these guys are just they're firing on all cylinders.
But we have to let the
A little while later, Axiom catches Gargano in a submission hold. Ciampa runs it. He tries to rip off Axiom's
offender's family and tell them that
Frazier those super kicks him. Gargano super kicked Frazier and then tried to roll up Axiom, who sat down on top of him and hooked the legs for the 3 count. When the match was over, Ciampa and Gargano they attacked Axiom. Here come the Motor City Machine Guns. They make the save. They fight off DIY. And Joe Tessitore on commentary noted that this is 4 straight wins for Axiom here on SmackDown. Great match. This was a great match. The tag team division right now here on SmackDown continues to outshine that which we get on Monday nights.
30
This
offenders.
is
We're getting
clearly the stronger of the two divisions, more exciting. But the Raw division just isn't as loaded
And we only got
talent-wise with tag teams as SmackDown. And so you're seeing that play out on TV each week. And in the back after the Street Profits, they walked up to Fraxium and they congratulated them for being on a roll. They even got one over on them.
If they
So
leave,
they just came from Nick Aldis's office and he's ranking as the WWE Tag Team Championship match. You're not going to have to wait for Money in the Bank. You're not going to have to wait for Saturday night's main event because we're doing it next week on SmackDown. And Frazier was all pumped up for the match, and Axiom had to calm him down and say, "Okay, let's get focused." So again, this whole thing was great. The action was great. I hope they can keep up the momentum. I still feel like, man, you can call up like another new team, or put together another new team and kind of work them into the mix. You got a great mix of talent right now when it comes to Fraxium, the DIY, and the Street Profits. Pretty Deadly seems to have been pushed out. So if we can kind of get somebody else into the mix, because otherwise it's going to get old after a while. You want to get some new blood in there, but I mean they're rocking and rolling right now, on the SmackDown side with those titles. So hopefully they keep it up. Now they showed Nia Jax stretching in the back. She was getting ready for her championship match later in the show with Tiffany Stratton, and far off in the background. You didn't really have to squint too much, but you could see her in the background.
Because one person was left. Once left to go. Once he left on one.
She's standing there watching. Very creepy. Now earlier today, Wade Barrett sat down with R-Truth, and he brought up the show press conference after Backlash, where John Cena delivered an attitude adjustment to R-Truth through the table. And so Barrett wants to ask him, he says, "Where's your head at right now as far as the two of you? Like, what's going on?" And Truth said, life is tough. There's different responsibilities, bills to pay, right? Everyone has different pressures and stresses that they deal with. But regardless of that, you can always depend on John Cena. He says, when you felt like you wanted to quit, what did John say? Never give up. You didn't know when it was going to come. You didn't think it was going to happen. What did John say? Our time is now. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Those aren't just words. It's a beacon of light.
Only
and
7
John
on the
Cena
one. They only
so
got 3.
So Wade said, listen to yourself. Like, you sound crazy. You got involved in the match in Backlash. You prevented him from being punted by Randy Orton. And look at the way that he repaid you. And you want to sit here, right, and basically extol the virtues of this thing. Like, what's wrong with you? The Truth told him Cena won that match on his own. But that man at the press conference, that wasn't John Cena. The John Cena that he knows wouldn't turn his back on the people that support him, love him. The John Cena that he knows wouldn't be talking about ruining wrestling. Put his friend, his brother, through a table. Said, I don't want to fight John, but if I have to beat him back to his senses, then I would do it. I'm gonna do it. I already talked to Nick Aldis. It's already set Saturday night's main event. John is the greatest of all time, but I remember what my hero told me when you face the impossible. never give up. And regardless of what happens, he's going to walk out with his head held high because he's going to live by 3 words: hustle, loyalty, and respect. That's what's up. And that was the end of the year. So now it is official. They put the graphic up. It did not say anything about it being a WWE Championship match, which is fine because, let's be honest here, it's our truth. What the fuck has he done to get a WWE Championship match? Nothing, not a damn thing. So this really has no business being a title match, but just having John Cena wrestling on the card is going to be enough of an attraction because he's only got so many matches left, right? The countdown is on. This is his final year. Title or no title, every John Cena match is meaningful in some way because it is one step closer to the end. And so now we're getting John Cena against R-Truth, which I'm guessing is the first time we've had this match since, what was that show? Capital Punishment, right? Remember they wrestled on that pay-per-view back in 2010? That may have been the last match they had one-on-one.
It was actually in 2011.
Years now, Truth has been mimicking him, stealing his moves, the 5-knuckle shuffle and the attitude adjustment and everything. He's been, mimicking this man and looking up to this man. And so now they're going to take this and they're going to apply it to what John Cena now is doing as a heel. And the question is, how are they going to work this? I like the fact that it's not a championship match for another reason also. It makes it, potentially, for some people,
Wait a minute. You
a
can't
little
use your
less
own bathroom?
predictable. Because if it was for the WWE Championship, right? What's the percentage you would put on it as far as Truth winning the match?
Oh, my
right?
bad.
0%.
And wait a minute. You can't.
Without the title on the line, maybe now you give Truth like a 3% chance of winning the match because you know that the title won't change. So potentially, like if Randy Orton was to show up or somebody was to show up, Truth could get a fluky win. They could run it back again. I'm not saying I don't think this is going to happen. Yeah, just put that out there. Okay, John Cena is not losing to R-Truth, but there's at least a chance. And if the title was on the line, then there would be absolutely no chance whatsoever. But this, to me, it doesn't even feel so much like a match. This feels like the setup to more of an angle. You're going to have Truth go out there, and it's not going to be ding, 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 collar and elbow tie-up. It's going to be Truth trying to get through to John Cena and convince him, like, look, this is not you. We need the real John Cena back. We need the old John Cena back.
Look, you
what are you doing?
Not your problem.
And he's going to try to convince this man to see the error of his ways. They dropped a hint of this at the end of Backlash, after Backlash went off the air on Saturday night. They kind of zoomed in on Cena's face, and he had this look on his face, this expression like he was maybe having doubts. He was second-guessing his behavior. He was having regrets. And then, of course, he did what he did to Truth at the post-show press scrum. But I'm sure that will play into this match. It'll be more of a kind of a storytelling segment than anything else. What kind of match are they even going to have? I mean, as a wrestling match, what kind of match is this really going to be anyway? It's going to be more about the story. And we'll get little shades of maybe Cena again. He's thinking like, oh, maybe he's right. I don't know. But like in the end, babyface. And when all is said and done, he needs to put Truth down. I think he needs to put him down. Not just AA or STFU, he gives up, match is over. He's got to lay a beat down on this guy. We know he's going to be a babyface again in a few months. We know where this story ends. But for now, he's a heel. And he's going to continue to be a heel for at least a little while longer. So solidify that heel turn and have him lay a vicious beating on this man who is beloved by all of the WWE fans. And this man believes in him. What a shitty thing to do for him to put this man down and then wake him back up and put him down for a second time, which really is what this should be next Saturday. That's really how this thing should play out. They do it the right way.
When it comes to him,
have the best moveset. Nick Grasso.
I mean,
thank you.
You should
$20, Nick. I hope you're doing well. You're on a Friday night.
You should be blaming him.
This fan says it will be an angle of Cena brutalizing, whatever that looks like.
I mean, you lost to Roman Reigns.
John Cena even have it in him to lay what we would consider to be a vicious beat down on somebody. And even Elimination Chamber, like he bloodied up Cody, but it was a pretty tame attack. So I don't know what that looks like. And it's NBC, some it's Carmelo Hayes and a on for a while. I just don't see where the real benefit is for him, other than he's getting his face on TV every week, so that's good. But otherwise, this was not impressed. And in the back, Alexa Bliss is walking, and Byron Saxton finds her, and Alexa says, "Office to speak with him." Keep telling yourself that. Now they posted I should mention that they posted a video on their YouTube channel. Yes, disembowel. That's the word on TV, and nobody has any idea that inside that Lily doll, she's carrying like grams and grams of coke. I could be wrong about this, but if they're introducing new people to the roster, I don't know where they're going to go with this. I am curious to see if they're going to form some sort of friendship or partnership, if they're going to feud them. A very good chance they both are going to end up in that Money in the Bank ladder match. I am all for a friendship, maybe even like a kind of an optimal type of pairing between these two.
Then we have
Not that Alexa
and has one again.
But if they do something like that, it could help initiate something of a character change for Charlotte. She'll always be the queen. She'll always be the queen being that division. But even just to soften her up a little bit, humanize her a little bit, and she's not relatable in any way. Like the Charlotte Flair character, pre-some match. This is just jealousy. Because Drew has gotten everything that it really goes back to last year, if you think about it. I mean, they got away from it for a while, but these two have been feuding going back to fucking WrestleMania last year when Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank. And they had that match, Clash, what was it, Clash Scotland or wherever the fuck they were. And then it carried over into the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, it's time to end this. Now, as Drew was walking very slowly to the back, they already started playing Solo Sikoa's music because his match was coming up next. Solo walked out along with Jeff Cobb and Jacob Fatu. We got a brief stare down with Priest, or not Priest, with McIntyre in the bloodline as McIntyre walked to the back. And that led into a men's Money in the Bank triple threat qualifier with Solo Sikoa, Ray Phoenix, and Jimmy Fatu. Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy.
I'm fusing different members of the bloodline together. I called him Jimmy Fatu. Jacob Fatu, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa. I don't know. Whatever. Harley, you know what? They took. Who would be the closest thing? If Jimmy is spinning Solo on the announce desk, and that took us into the picture-in-picture. Hey, you know what? That could work too. Doesn't really fit the current gimmick that Chelsea is doing, but took us into the picture-in-picture. Now, the brothers Uso, we'll call them, with a flying crossbody in WWE roster that we have. That was very boring, with Solo basically stalking both men to get the heat. Something this match was mostly devoid of. And then we got a brief referee botch here. Actually, a big referee botch. It was brief, but it was big. And it was very unlike Charles Robinson. Now, Charles Robinson is probably, if not the best, one of, I'll make mistakes. And he made one here. Because, now really this whole spot looked bad. Because what they did was, Solo was holding Ray Phoenix up. Phoenix was facing outward, but he was basically holding him up. Jimmy was on the ropes. He was setting up
we had
for
30
a dive.
people, 30 games,
Some kind of move.
There,
And he took forever to
to
situate himself before he jumped.
multiple times.
So Phoenix is being held up in the air, and he's got his arms, and literally, like, he's like flailing. Oh, he's like flailing around. It felt like forever, like he's swimming, and he's more focused on Jimmy. kicks out. And even Wade Barrett on commentary, he called him out for it. So then Fatu decides to get involved. Jimmy's super outcome that we could have had here in this match. The match itself, I didn't think was really all that good. When the match was over, LA Knight runs out. He runs Fatu into the ring post. And he grabs a chair and he climbs on top of the announce desk. Nick Aldis walks out. And he calls for everybody to stand down. Okay, everybody just stand down. And he says, you know, if JC Mateo over here wants, they're not in this. The future of trading is here.
This summer's hottest deals are at Ashley's Memorial Day sale. Check out our incredible select.
In 2025, very, very missed. 3 hours is just excruciatingly too long for a pro wrestling show with the rinse and repeat that this show on a regular basis gives you every week. I don't know if they're turning a corner. I don't know if they realize that things need to be done to make this show a little bit more on even level with Monday Night Raw. But I thought tonight's show was really, really good for Smackdown standards. It's still the worst show of the week. It's probably neck and neck with NXT. NXT is usually at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to my pro wrestling for the week. But usually SmackDown or NXT that takes the cake for worst wrestling show of the week. Tonight's show was really good, man. Tonight's show was really good. There really isn't, as far as story, there really isn't much to dive into. There are things happening. There are Money in the Bank qualifiers. There is a new arrival in the women's division. There's a new arrival in the men's division with Jeff Cobb, who got a new name now that he's in WWE. We got a tag team division that's probably right now in the last 2 months or so operating at maximum levels. It's still not a division to me. I feel like we need more than just 5 teams that are competing to call it a division. But tag team division on Friday night is probably some of the best weekly television spots that you'll see on any show. Again, I don't know if they're turning a corner. I don't know if they realize that changes are needed on this show before they rumored to be going back to 2 hours. But if this is the show that they're going to be operating with when they go back to 2 hours, man, we'll be in a very nice place on Friday night. The biggest takeaway for me on this show wasn't a particular story. It was a couple of particular matches tonight. And I'm going to start with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Largely the women's division across WWE has been, again, very hit or miss. Stories don't really connect, especially on Friday Night SmackDown. It's better on Monday. I think Monday's got the obviously better roster. Friday night has a nice core nucleus of women. They just added one more tonight. Julia is now on Friday nights. They quickly broke up Julia and Roxanne Perez and moved Julia over to Friday night. SmackDown needed a shot of adrenaline, and hopefully Julia is that shot of adrenaline. But the women's division on Friday night hasn't really been doing much of anything. They had the worst story in the women's division going into WrestleMania. They had the worst match going in and coming out of WrestleMania this year. Naomi was the only bright spot on the road to WrestleMania because her heel turn was really well done. And she's also putting in the work to make that a believable role for herself where I can actually see her winning Money in the Bank if they do want to go that way creatively. There wasn't much to get excited about. A lot of Nia. The stories revolving around Nia didn't really go anywhere. They didn't captivate anybody. They didn't really generate interest. A lot of thumbs down when it comes to the women's division. The talent is obviously there. Stories are not. there wasn't much of a story coming into the main event tonight. It's just basically WWE giving Tiffany and Nia something to do coming out of Backlash before they set up Tiffany's next opponent, which at this point I don't know who it will be. It could be Naomi, it could be Jade. We don't know. But Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. A lot of people put down Tiffany Stratton for one reason or another. I don't really understand why. I just think it's the herd mentality on social media. I think a lot of people operate with their emotions and they think with their emotions instead of actually watching the fucking matches. Instead of dissecting and analyzing the matches, they just think with their emotions. If they don't like Tiffany because they're a fan of somebody else, they're not going to like Tiffany. You know, I see the same thing happening with Rhea Ripley on Monday. Why is she always in the women's championship title picture? Why is she this? Why is she that? She's doing this to get ahead. I mean, you see and hear it all on social media. So much so that Rhea Ripley had to come out and fucking flame half the community on Wednesday, I believe. But Tiffany, her body of work has largely been very good. It just depends on who she's in the ring. Now, you would think that getting into the ring with Charlotte, they would have had a good match. They did not. Charlotte sabotaged the feud, sabotaged the build, sabotaged the actual match at WrestleMania, and it proved to be a disaster. And rightfully so, Charlotte has been slotted in the back of the line where she belongs. Because nothing she does is good. Nothing she does is entertaining or interesting. There's no stories that really captivate the audience, because Charlotte is the centerpiece of the storyline. Tiffany's work has been very good. It was very good in NXT. She is trying to find her own character on the main roster after a successful run in NXT, and I do finally believe it's coming along. And you see the body of work that she's putting in. Nia Jax, on the other hand, I've not been a Nia Jax fan. This is very well documented for years. I have not been a Nia Jax fan, but in doses here and there, I have given Nia Jax her flowers when it has been called for. And I'm going to give another bouquet of flowers tonight to Nia Jax, as I said oh so many times before. When Nia wants to show up to work and actually work, Nia works. Is it the best? No. Is it the best in the division? Not even close. But when Nia wants to work with whom she wants to work with, Nia will work. And I don't know where this body of work for Nia is coming from, but Nia in 2025 has had more back than I really care to admit. And again, she's not some technical masterpiece. She's not going in there and fucking reliving Bret the Hitman Hart classics. It's just Nia using her strength and her size to her advantage, and she makes everything believable. And everybody that she works with wrestles a better match because she's using everything in her environments and everything about her character with her opponent. I think what she's done has been really fucking good. So again, give Nia Jax her flowers. I thought tonight's match was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I don't believe we're in a day and age where I could sit here and legitimately tell you that Nia Jax is putting on better matches than Charlotte Flair.
I know.
You want to know how Charlotte Flair and this division has passed her by? Just look at Nia Jax. We're living in 2025, and I'm on YouTube live in front of all of you telling you that Nia Jax has put on better matches than Charlotte since Charlotte Flair has returned. Do I have a fever?
No.
Somebody can check my temperature and make sure I'm all right.
Exactly.
Seriously. Where'd you put my old fashioned? Old fashioned's 2 ounces of whiskey. I'll make sure. It's crazy. This is a factual statement, by the way, folks. I'm not ribbing you. I'm not fucking trolling you. This is legitimately the state of the women's division right now. Excellent match. Excellent. It really begs the question, I don't know why this wasn't the fucking WrestleMania match in Las Vegas. Imagine that. Imagine we got Nia and Tiffany, and what we did tonight, just take what we did tonight and put it on night one of WrestleMania. Night one of WrestleMania would have been just a little bit better. Just a little bit better than what it was. Excellent match. And shout out to Joe Tessitore. He called the best match that he has called since he has been the main guy on play-by-play.
I mean, last week was actually a very good match.
Great.
That match was actually better than Charlotte and Tiffany. Just imagine we had that match than Charlotte, because Charlotte was terrible. The build was shit, the match was shit, Scarlet was mad, and that was
the match that should have been on WrestleMania. I don't know if the story would have been WrestleMania worthy, but at least the match was. We got those two things. This might go down as one of the best women's, at least up until this point. We're looking at May. Up until today,
I was hoping that Naomi was going to be Monday, but apparently she got.
In all of pro
I want
wrestling,
Naomi to be Monday, but not Charlotte.
they killed it.
Oh, Julie's on
They
Smackdown.
killed
She's
it.
Julie been on the Smackdown, by the way.
Money in the Bank qualifiers. We got Money in the Bank qualifiers for the men and the women. I'm assuming we'll see the same on Monday night. They are fleshing out the men's and women's Money in the Bank. Hopefully they know what they're doing when it comes to the.
We're in June.
We got the debut of Jeff Cobb, who is now renamed in WWE as JC Mateo. You get it? Jeff Cobb. They just gave him the first name of JC to kind of keep that name, the initials of Jeff Cobb, at least alive in WWE as they rename him JC Mateo. Jeff Cobb was a great wrestler before he came to WWE. Hopefully he opened some eyes tonight. Hopefully he made some new fans tonight. I thought he looked great. Greensboro, North Carolina might not have known who JC Mateo was, but I thought he looked great. He wrestled LA Knight tonight. LA Knight still continuing his battle against the Bloodline. Saturday night's main event is looking like a banger of a show. This may be the best Saturday night's main event card that we've gotten so far, and I'm very much looking forward to that next Saturday, man. They added some bangers to this show. John Cena has officially been announced to wrestle on this show. R-Truth and John Cena will go one-on-one in a non-title match at Saturday night's main event. And tonight they added Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest inside a steel cage. So we got a great show next Saturday coming on up for Saturday night's main event. And we're definitely going to get into Smackdown tonight here on Off the Script. We got 1,800 people in here on a Friday night. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Really enjoyed Smackdown tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on your Friday night. You know, all gas, no brakes. You know what I mean? Solo stopped him mid-catchphrase, interrupted him, mocked him in the process. Solo wanted to help Fatu, and the title on his shoulder was proof that Solo loves Jacob. Solo wanted to now hear Fatu say, "I love you, Solo." Fatu said it, but it wasn't like he used to say it. He used to yell it, "I love you, Solo!" This was more in his normal voice. Just imagine Jacob Fatu at a nice, delicate, private dinner party. He's all dressed up. Very, very normal.
And they say very dangerous.
Solo wanted to hear him say it again like he used to say it. He yanked Fatu by the shoulder to grab his attention. Fatu did not appreciate Solo putting his hands on him. All of a sudden, LA Knight's music hit. Attention to the stage, but LA Knight wasn't there. He showed up, jumped in the barricade from the timekeeper's area. He attacked Jeff Cobb, but bailed through the crowd before they could all basically.
He was already convicted.
I want to say kill
on
him,
this
but
crime
beat the shit out of him. You got three angry Bloodline members here, and LA Knight gets out of harm's way. So, Jeff Cobb kept calling him JC during the segment. Solo kept calling him JC, my new guy. He helped us out. We got JC on Friday. We got JD on Monday. We got JD over here. So JC Mateo is his new name. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't know what the problem was with Jeff Cobb, but WWE's got they got to put their own spin on things. It's what they do. It's nothing overly offensive. We could get used to it. I don't want to see him wrestling in black jeans and a black tank top. I'd like to see him actually in ring gear, which we'll get into a little bit later. When he did wrestle, he did not wrestle in ring gear. It was an impromptu match made by Nick Aldis. I enjoyed this segment. It gave me, kind of old bloodline segment feels. There's obviously tension between Solo and Jacob Fatu. Solo is looking to, assert his leadership in the group. Because right now, I do feel like he is at least threatened in storyline by Jacob Fatu and the way the fans reacted to him. And the way that he's the United States champion and he's the breadwinner, he's the prize, the number one guy in the family right now. The only one in the family that has the title outside Jey Uso. Jey Uso's on Raw and on SmackDown. It's not Solo leading the charge, it's not Jimmy leading the charge, it's Jacob Fatu leading the charge. We already have Tongans are out, JC Mateo is now in, Jacob Fatu the one leading the charge. Solo is jealous. He is worried that Fatu is stealing his thunder, so he's making a stake. Making a claim to the Money in the Bank briefcase. He's got a qualifying match later on tonight. And he wants to basically win the Money in the Bank, take back the WWE Championship, and bring it back to the family because he decided Roman Reigns is failed.
You can deal with that.
Roman Reigns lost it all. And Solo wants to get back to that. He's a spoiler, folks. He's not. Solo's not going to get the WWE Championship back in the family. Solo's not even going to sniff the WWE Championship. Solo's not even winning Money in the Bank. Solo Sikoa is going to continue to fail and look at Jacob Fatu as the breadwinner of the family. And then before we know it, Fatu, who is over as fuck with the audience, it almost seems like he should not even be associated with the bloodline. He's got this tension with Jacob Fatu, and then before you know it, we're going to get them clashing over the United States Championship. We may be looking at a SummerSlam match between these two. I think that's the direction that they're going.
How will I be the
SummerSlam? I can see that being the case there.
How may
And
not be the
gives
referee?
this story more than enough time to really flesh
My
itself
brother
out
and my
and
cousin.
move on to the next
Yeah.
chapter with this version or whatever is left.
I'm gonna be the referee.
Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, that's the direction, that's the plan. LA Knight, I don't know how many more weeks I can sit here and tell you I'm interested in LA Knight battling a member of the bloodline or LA Knight teaming with somebody to take on two members of the bloodline or six-man tag team match where he teams up with two baby faces and they
The
battle all.
people believe in him.
I'm all
They
for it.
don't believe in you.
If
One reason why they cheer
I
him
had
because
my
they
way.
believe in him. They don't.
Now, I'm not going
believe
to
in
say he's going to win Money in the Bank because I don't know who's in it yet. But if LA Knight was to win the Money in the Bank, I would see, or like to see, him get drafted, if there is a draft, over to Raw so that he could potentially cash in on the World Heavyweight Championship. Because I don't see him cashing in on the WWE Championship. LA Knight moving to Monday Night Raw would be better for everybody. It gets LA Knight a bunch of new opponents. It gets LA Knight away from the fucking bloodline. And it gets LA Knight in a situation with a real contender for a world championship because it's not going to happen on Friday night. We're going from Cody to Cena, Cena back to Cody. That's it. So all the LA Knight enthusiasts out there, you want a guy to win Money in the Bank? You better hope he gets drafted to Monday Night Raw because
You know
he
what?
ain't winning no fucking world championship on Friday Night SmackDown. I'll tell you that right now. Laying the SmackDown. Why didn't SmackDown get red skies? Because it was a very good show tonight. Laying the SD. What the fuck are you talking about? Why do you want me to throw red skies around when I don't need to play red skies? It was a good show. We don't play Red Skies during good shows. We only play Red Skies on Wednesdays because Wednesdays are fucking awful. Normally we play Red Skies on Friday night because Smackdown is also awful on most weeks. But the last 2 or 3 weeks, Smackdown has been passable to at least very good. Don't come in here telling me that I should have played something during the intro because you wanted it, because you didn't like it. I liked it. I liked it. You want to hear Red Skies? Show up to my stream on Wednesday, when more than likely the show is a fucking bore. Ridiculous. No, don't get him out. If he says something colorful, then we'll get him out. He's got 1 foot out the door already, though. That's not gonna happen. In this run, now that she's back on television a little bit more regularly. Michin, I don't care. Michin gets no reaction. Don't really care about Michin. Chelsea Green, I'm over it. You know, you got all the Chelsea Green stands out. She's this, oh, she's that. Yes, she is. But WWE uses her mainly in a comedy role, and the actual professional wrestling coming from Chelsea is in her group with Piper Niven and do anything of real substance in it. And to me, it's kind of frustrating. Before the commercial break, and now she's in control after the break. She worked over Bliss until Michin dropped her with consecutive German suplex and a sit-out powerbomb. Michin. Tag team wrestling. Let me start here. Tag team wrestling as a whole in 2025 is fucking awful. It's awful. AEW's tag team division is fucking horrendous. It is a nightmare. I don't know what the fuck happened to that tag team division. I can't even fucking tell you 3 tag teams in that division that actually are in that division as a serious tag team. FTR and the Hurt Syndicate. That's about it. Good luck naming another one. That division's awful. The Monday Night Raw tag team division is just a little bit better than the AEW tag team division, and they are also themselves fucking awful. We got the Creeds, who are great. We got the New Day, who can be great. They've died 1,000 deaths on Monday night. I don't know what the fuck happened to them. Both great tag teams, ice cold. The War Raiders are great, ice cold. Outside that, I couldn't fucking tell you who's on the Monday Night Raw tag. Otis and Tozawa. Who else is on the Monday Night Raw tag team division? Fuck do I know? Then you got the Smackdown tag team division. You got 2 of them right here. You got Fraxian, DIY. We got the Garzas. That's 3. Pretty deadly. If you like that type of thing. Motor City Machine Guns and the Street Profits. That is 6 tag teams right there. Now, you may look at it differently than I do. 5 core teams. Right now, we're seeing 4 core teams. We see DIY, Crack Team, the Profits, and Motor City Machine Guns. You want to put the Garzas in there? 5. Pretty deadly? 6. Fine. 5 teams, 6 teams, not enough for a division. It's not. You gotta at least give me 8. The division, I would lightly call that a division. They're not there yet. They're never going to be there. I don't know what WWE's hesitancy is on building a tag team division with an actual division. Monday night needs all the help that they can get. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. But on Friday night, the tag team division for the last 3 weeks, since that ladder match, since that triple threat ladder match on the Smackdown after WrestleMania, this tag team division has been operating on all cylinders, man. They've been all guns blazing. And it's all thanks to the injection of life that Fraxian has given this division. They were fucking great in NXT. You put any 2 guys in that ring, and they put on a fucking bang. But you saw as they went on and on and on, beating everybody, and month after that division was getting a little too old for them. About Friday Night SmackDown. I mean, this reminds me of Black and Gold. I mean, how could it not? The guy walked.
Just here, by the way, I'm almost a spoiler right now.
Well, the video I made this long enough. I don't want to make it too long. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Hit that like button. I will see y'all later.
They came out of the closet this morning.
So long.